Let's understand about gauge charts in Power BI. So this is the gauge chart and this looks like a half donut chart here. Inside that we can add values, minimum value, maximum values, target values and tooltips. So primarily this is used to show the values and targets. So right now we will be bringing here our quantity sold. So this is the entire quantity sold which will be loaded here. So this is our entire quantity. Let it get loaded, which is 7,890 which we have sold, and it makes the target as double. As you can see, that is the default behavior and we will be changing that. Right now let's put it on the right side and let's do one thing. Let's bring another I can say filter here, which is our slicer. So I have selected the slicer and let's insert inside this slicer our subcategories, because we want to show the subcategories and their actual quantity sold versus their target quantity. So let's select one subcategory of blazers here. So you can see that 589 is the total quantity which have been sold, and we want to show the total quantity sold of current month only. So instead of entire lifespan, let's convert it to current month. But before that, let me just show you and give you a reference data point through which it will be easy for you to understand this visualization. So inside this metric chart, let me bring the quantity sold, and this quantity sold I would like to show by start of the month. So start of the month, these two data points we have selected here. Let's increase the size here a little bit, yeah, and let's sort it. So we have sorted it based upon latest to oldest. Now you can see that the 19 quantity of this particular blazer has been sold in the month of December 2024, and there are 589 quantities sold entire lifespan of this blazer. So right now we want to get this 19 number, which is our actual number, inside this particular gauge chart. So we go to filters, and inside filters we want to put a start month filter for this visual only, and inside basic filtering we want to select top n filters, and here we want the latest month data. So latest month data I have selected as 1 because I want to show the top 1 month data, and here we will bring the start of the month by value. So we will select the latest month data. So this is showing that latest month data will be taken and latest 1 month data will be taken based upon this top filter here. And if we apply that, you can see that 19 quantity is showing, which is our latest month sold quantity here. Now what further we need to do, we need to create our targets here. So for that, what we will be doing, let's go to our measures table. Inside our measures table we have created one measure as you can see previous month order quantity. So if I bring this previous month order quantity here, let it get loaded. If I bring this previous month quantity here, you can see that for December month 19 quantity was sold, in November 21 quantity was sold. So for December month, previous month become 21 quantity. Now what we want, that whatever quantity we have sold previous month, we want to give our sales team a target of 10% more than that quantity as compared to previous month. For example, in previous month 21 quantities were sold, so in December 21 plus 10%, and we will round that number as well. So what we can do, we can create a new measure, and inside measures table we go and create on new measure. Let it get loaded, and let's give it a name of target quantity. And inside that, what we can do, we can simply bring previous month order quantity and then multiply that with 1.1, because we want to give them 10% more target. And when we bring this number, this will be a decimal number. So the quantity sold cannot be in decimal. So what we will do, we will round it up, and we want to give them an upside target, so it will be a round up. And inside this round up, let it get loaded for a moment. We want to round it up to 0 decimal points, and here we press enter. So let's see what's the problem this is showing at the moment. Previous month order quantity, okay, so there is some syntax error, and let's correct that syntax error. So this is our roundup, and inside that roundup, let me see what's the error. So this is our roundup, and if we multiply that with 1.10, this should be fine. Let's see. Now this is correct. Let's go and bring this target quantity here in our matrix. So you can see that in the previous month we have sold 21 quantities of our blazer. Right now we want to get a 10% increase inside that. So what we will be doing, we will be doing a 21% plus 10%, which will bring the numbers in decimal, and we will convert the decimal to an upper round, which will give us the quantity of 24. So this 24 will become our total target quantity. Now if this target quantity has been created, we select our this measure, and inside that what we will be doing, wait for a second, we will be going to our maximum value, and inside that we will be writing a target quantity here. Once we do that, we can simply see that the total target quantity is 24 is showing here, and 19 quantity is showing, which is our actual number. So we can select others as well based upon that, and here we can see if we select our jackets, 15 was our target and 10 is our actual number. So these numbers keeps on updating and changing based upon our selection, which we want to highlight. Now let's go and do a formatting for this particular chart. So for formatting this particular chart, let's go to format. Inside the format, what we can do is select title. So we can show it like target versus actual, and this target versus actual, let's do the font selection for this as Figo UI, and let's make it bold, and then let's bring it to the center of this chart. This looks fine. Do we want any subtitles? No, we don't want any subtitles, so let's not select that. And let's go to the colors. Right now the color theme which we are having is I can say blue and black, so let's select the color as black here. And target color, this is asking, so let's make it little bit blue. And then let's go further and see our data labels. So this data labels is in the Figo UI, which is fine, and the color is we can select as black here, and we can make it a little bit bold. As you can see, these have become bold. Display units is auto, which is fine, and there is no decimal places in our quantity, so that is also fine. Once we do that, let's go to our target labels, and these target labels we want to also show it into the black color, and let's make it a little bit bold. Wait for a second. Yeah, and we can keep it on and off as well, so let's keep it on. After the target, let's go to our callout values. Inside our callout values, the dim light is selected, so let's go and convert the font here to Figo UI, and we can keep it into the bold. So this is our callout value which we have shown into bold, and let's convert its color to black, and the display units are correct and everything looks correct and right. Let's reduce the size of this chart little bit here for our reference, and this looks fine now. So this is our targets versus actual, and let's redefine the name. But instead of writing target versus actual, let's redefine it by saying targets versus actual quantity. That would be a more appropriate name here. So we have written that. Once we have done that, this is showing the targets versus actual target achieved. Similar to the quantities, we can create the same kind of chart for our revenue. So we selected it here, and inside this visual, let's go and select our, instead of quantity sold, let's write it as revenue, and revenue has been selected. Inside the maximum value, we need to put the revenue targets as well. So just like we created the revenue target for quantity, let's go and create the revenue target for value as well. So here you know that inside these measures we were having this previous month revenue, and we also want to give our salespeople a target of previous month multiplied by 10% extra as compared to previous month for their revenue target. So let's go to the measures table and create a new measure here. Let's wait for a moment, and inside that we write it as revenue target, and we can write it as previous month revenue, and then we can multiply it with 1.1, and here no need to round off because the numbers can be in decimal places. So this became our revenue target. Now inside this chart, which is our targets versus actual chart, let's put the maximum value to be our revenue target, and you can see now this is showing the correct number, which is 658 was our target, and we achieved only $461. Also, one important thing inside this particular chart is that we should not be using this targets value, because when we use this target value, let me show what happens. So we write as revenue target, and right now I'm showing this inside the target value. So when we show it, this shows just like a liner here and show the double number, which is not of very much help for us. So instead of showing the numbers inside target value, we should be showing the target in the maximum I can say field. So we select that, and now this looks fine, and let's remove our support table, and these two targets have been created, and let's rename it, instead of targets versus actual quantity, let's write it as revenue. Once we have done that, we are good to go ahead with our further analysis. So thank you so much for watching.